You want to know the secret sauce on this engine build? Nothing crazy, but look at that dome. That's going to make some compression. Joe Fro from Two Hacks Garage. Well, I just showed you something pretty neat. Yep, I got one of the pistons and rods installed in the 311 cubic inch small block Chevy Ripper that's going to go in this dragster. I was doing some test fitting off camera just to make sure everything works the way I want to. But in this video, what we're going to do, we're going to install the pistons and rods into this engine. It's a pretty straightforward process. However, there are some tools that you're going to need and a couple items that you're going to need to look out for. So with that, guys, I tell you what, I'm excited about getting this rotating assembly in, get it assembled, so I can start buttoning this thing up and get it in here, because I really want to go racing. With that, guys, let's show you what we're working with. So what are we working with? Well, it's nothing crazy, not a crazy combination like I said. This is a pretty old school basic engine build that I'm doing for this dragster. But what we have is Sealed Power Speed Pro forged pistons and Eagle forged H-beam connecting rods with ARP bolts and Molle Performance rod bearings. So one thing you're going to need to make sure you have, you're going to need to make sure you have your paperwork that came with the connecting rods, because that's going to tell you how much to torque them down. The other thing here, I like the engine math. I like writing everything down and documenting it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to be measuring deck height as I go along with this. And at some point, what I'm going to do is I am going to also write down the rod side clearance. All right, so the other tools you're going to need here to do this, you're going to need a deck bridge tool. That's for later on, along with feeler gauge. Also, that's for later on. Probably do that in a separate video. But basically, a feeler gauge is to measure rod side clearance, and that's for deck height. Other things you're going to need some motor oil in a can. You're going to need a mallet. You're going to need some rags, some carb cleaner, some gloves, because it does get dirty. And those are those copperhead ones I did a video on, and they work awesome. Bearing guard, that's from Clevite. That's for the installation step. And right here we have a piston ring compressor tool that's preset at 4060. We have a speed wrench, and we have our torque wrench. Cardboard here, because when I'm assembling these, it does get messy, and I'll let the oil soak up in there. But this thing really does make things easier. If you have a crank snout tool, for this, it's awesome. It slides into the keyway, and you have a breaker bar. So when you're installing the pistons, each cylinder, and need to turn it over, it's going to get tighter as you go along. This really makes it a whole lot easier. All right, so the first thing you're going to want to make sure to do on this, you're going to want to make sure not only your pistons and rods clean, you're going to want to make sure your bores are clean too. Usually what I do is I actually wipe them down with none other than a coffee filter and some transmission fluid. Along with that, what you're going to want to do is make sure your rod journals are all clean. I suggest using a light air and blow out the oil feed holes. But yeah, that's what you want to make sure. Make sure your rods and pistons are clean. Make sure your rod journals are clean, and make sure your bores are clean. And I'm telling you, transmission fluid and a coffee filter, it doesn't leave any residue behind. All right, after cleaning your cylinder, make sure your hands are clean too. I like to squirt a little bit of motor oil in here. And what you're going to do is you're going to use that motor oil back and forth, and you're going to just coat that cylinder up really nice. If you notice, I have the engine laid over, makes this a whole lot easier. So yeah, you're just going to go in there and you're going to get that coated. Like I said, make sure your hands are clean, make sure your cylinders are clean, and it's pretty simple. That's going to aid in really helping get this thing installed when we go to poke it in there. I'm going to wipe my hands off. I'm going to wipe just some excess oil off here. Mind you, I'll be cleaning the deck when I go to install the heads, but this is kind of a messy step. All right, the next step is we're going to deal with the piston. I've already cleaned these up pretty good, so what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take your caps off. Remember to orient these correctly when you put them back on. So what you're going to do is you're going to take these caps off, set it aside. I have the bearings in there. Mind you, I've already measured for bearing clearance, so we're not going to be, doing a step with any plastic gauge or anything like that. We're going to actually get these lubed up. So I'm going to set that aside, and what we're going to do now is we're going to apply some of the Clevite lube guard on here. Again, make sure your bearings, make sure everything's clean, including your hands. Gonna load that up there. Nice layer on that. Kind of work it on the sides a little bit. So that part right there is ready to go. Your bearing is lubed up, and I'm going to do the same thing to the cap side. And mind you, when doing this, these are ARP bolts, and they do already come pre-lubed with some of their ARP fastener lube. I went ahead and added a little bit more because I've had these off and on. So always make sure your rod cap bolts are also lubricated. So right now our bearings itself is lubricated. Next step, what you're going to do, you're going to check for your orientation on your piston rings. Make sure that is correct. Mine is. And what you're going to do now is you're going to actually add some oil on this, and I'll show you why here in a second. I like to just get this rubbed in there, let it get in the rails. You want to make sure all this moves freely, nothing catching up. Just work that around like so. Again, check your piston ring orientation. Really get them skirts. Okay, so now we have our compressor here. This is, like I said, pre-fit. And like you said, this is for 4060. I got this one from Summit. And this is actually tapered. So you're going to work with the letters up. So your piston, we're going to draw it through here. And what that's going to do, it's going to compress those rings. And what you want to do here, it's always a good idea, add a little bit of oil. Makes things a whole lot easier. Just like everything else, make sure everything is properly lubricated. Like I said, it's a little bit messy. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this in here. You want to be careful. Take your time because you got to get past all the rings. Hands are a little slick. Takes a little bit of time to get used to one of these, especially if you don't do it every day, like me. Just go ring by ring. Don't force anything. Like I said, these are tapered. Okay, there we go. There we have it. It's compressed. That one's ready to install. What I'm going to do is wipe my hands clean again, because we're going to go over there and install one of these pistons in there. All right, first thing first, what you're going to want to do, on the backside of your crankshaft, you're going to want to make sure the actual journal isn't facing up. You want it facing down. Reason being is we're going to put this rod in there, and we don't want that rod to hit it. You can actually put bolts on it with like a piece of rubber hose, or Jimmy makes these really cool tools. However, I have this thing parallel, and I've done this a few times. So I'm going to make sure that that crank is down out of the way, and it is. So now what we can do is we can actually install this. Don't remember, I have these labeled 2468, so I grabbed number 6, and I had everything labeled so I know on what the radius on the fillet's supposed to be versus rod side. Got all that taken care of. I always double check though as I build this. I have come into times where I've made mistakes, like we always do. So if you look here, this says out on this side here. You can't see because my finger's holding it, but there's the larger radius, and that's going to go to the fillet side outside of the crankshaft. And mind you, I had labeled all these, so that points up on the motor, and obviously you can tell your valve reliefs and along with your piston hole right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to gently slide this in there, get the skirt started. What you're going to do is make sure you somewhat have this square. You don't want things cockeyed. You want that rod up and down like it's going to go on the journal. And I'm going to slowly start pushing this down. There we go. Pops right in there. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to carefully bring this down, and this is where a mallet does come in handy. I'm going to bring it down to the rod journal and get it close. What you can't see on camera is what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this crankshaft. I'm going to put it on the rod journal itself. I'll show you here in a second what I'm doing. Always want to be careful with that. I'll show you what I just did. What I just did, like I said, I started with the crankshaft. I flipped the engine over. I started with the crankshaft out of the way, not towards the cylinder. I got out. And what I did was when I got that started in there, I pushed it down and held it into place. And then I rotated. What you couldn't see is I rotated the crank and slowly brought it up to the bearing surface. So now with that is nice and tight against there, what I can do is I can install the rod cap. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and take care of that. So yeah, all I did was start off with the crank journal up, got the piston started, pushed it down a little bit, and then I worked the journal actually to the rod bearing itself, and I held this in place so I wouldn't hit. You do not want to hit your crankshaft. You can nick it and get a high spot, and that's no bueno. So like I showed you, I went ahead and added some bearing guard to actual bearing, but I'm going to add just a little bit more. Get that started on there. This is some pretty tacky stuff. It's from Clevite. I really like it. It works very, very well. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to rub it alongside of that crank there. Another thin layer, just get all that in place. Remember, make sure you orient your cap correctly. So I'm going to be careful, and I'm going to put that on there. Get them finger started. And this is where I like using my speed wrench. Speed wrench does not really allow you to over torque things. It's a good tool to have to get things started. Now that I got them finger started, I'm going to slowly and evenly run these down. Get them nice and seated. There we go. And the next step, what I'm going to do before I torque it down, want to make sure they're seated. Just want to move it back and forth, make sure it moves, make sure we're good. So now what we're going to do is we're going to torque it down. ARP on these, since they are the 87/47/16, it says 63 foot-pounds. And I have my torque wrench already set up. So what I can do is I can go ahead and get these torqued. There's my click. Okay, there we go. Got those torqued in place. What I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate this over and just listen for any sounds. Sounding pretty good. Well, there we have it. I got all 8 poked in. All the rod bolts are torqued into place. And I was going to show you guys how to check rod side clearance and deck height in this video. However, I'm going to make my own video on that as its own separate one, kind of talking about the importance of the two and how to actually do it. So yeah, got a nice dome on it. Not too shabby. Made short work of that, that's for sure. Well, there you have it. Got all 8 pistons and rods installed, got everything torqued into place. Like I said, it's really not that hard to do. The one thing I will suggest you do is take your time. Double check everything. If you noticed, I was actually looking at the piston, the connecting rod when I put it in there to make sure the radius side is on the fillet side of the crank and the rod side to rod side. I also made sure I did not mix anything up. One went with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and so on. Everything was properly lubricated. And if you saw at the last part of that, I actually went back with my torque wrench and I checked all the rod bolts again. It never hurts to double check everything. Something like this, it's going to be a high RPM build most likely. So I just want to make sure everything's going to hold together. So yeah, clean products, clean hands, clean tools, clean engine, clean everything, properly lube it, use the right tools, and this is something you can do on your own. It just takes a little bit of time. Just really pay attention. This is something where you don't want a whole lot of distractions. I'm by myself right now, well, because everybody's in bed because it's about 4 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, that's all done. Like I said in this video, I was going to show you how to check rod side clearance and check for deck height. However, that's an important piece there. So in the next video, we're going to show you how to check for rod side clearance and explain that, and also check for piston deck height and also explain that. 2X Garage, we'll see you in the next one.